Hello BookTube! Welcome back to my channel. My name is O'Shalay, and in today's video I want to talk to you guys about my 2015 writing resolutions and pretty much just really an update on my NaNoWriMo novel. So stay tuned if you want to hear more about that. So today I'm filming this on January 1st, so Happy New Year to all of you, Happy 2015, and today would mark exactly 1 month since I stopped working on my NaNoWriMo novel. As many of you know who've been following me since I started making videos, I made daily vlogs during NaNoWriMo, and as you guys know, I pretty much won NaNoWriMo pretty early on, but I kept working on my novel. And what you don't know is once I got to the end of November, it was about December 1st, so it's been exactly a month, I decided to make the decision to put my novel aside and kind of take the advice of a lot of NaNoWriMoers who had been doing it for a while and just take a break from my novel and just step back from it and give myself the month of December off to relax and recuperate and enjoy the holidays, and then come back to my novel once the month of December is over. And honestly, I would say that I think that for me personally, that was really good advice, because now it being January 1st, I'm very excited to get back to my novel. I have a lot of ideas. I spent the month off, maybe not necessarily technically writing, but always thinking about my novel, and a lot of the issues and the problems that I had with it, I had a chance to kind of just think about those things and work it out mentally in my head and sort of organize the way that I would like to approach continuing working on it and editing it from now on. So I kind of got to almost like mentally work out all of my issues with my novel before I actually sit down to physically begin editing it. As a lot of you know, I actually didn't even finish writing my novel during the month of November. I surpassed 50,000 words, but in doing so I realized that my novel was actually probably going to be close to 250,000 words at the end of the day. So I haven't finished it yet. So I still have to finish it before I start thinking about editing it. And right now, I'm in the stage of, like I said, organization. NaNoWriMo helped me to get the story out and helped me to produce a lot of material, I guess. But now it's up to me to kind of see which material is usable and which material is not usable. Another thing that I'm facing is that I believe that my story is actually going to go in a completely different direction. After NaNoWriMo, right in the beginning of December, I kind of I went back and reread a lot of what I'd written and just trying to see where the story was going from a reader's perspective. And I basically just realized that I didn't really like the way the story was going. I saw a lot of roadblocks just in terms of plot, and I saw a lot of things that were kind of bogging the story down, slowing it down and making it almost lethargic and in some parts kind of dull. So I kind of took this month off to think about that and to try and come up with strategies and different ways that I could change that and what I could do to change up the plot to either accelerate the pace of the story or to make it more interesting. And basically the conclusion I've come to is my story is going to take a wild swing in a completely new direction that I really didn't see coming. And even as I was writing it, there were all these things that were happening and the characters were doing things that I didn't expect. And I kept talking about the characters hijacking my story during Nano. And now I'm kind of being forced to rein them in and forcing them into this new direction that I need to go in for the good of the story, to make it a better, tighter, plotted, more interesting, more worthwhile, at least in my opinion, story. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on. So My writing goals for 2015 are basically I would like to write every day. I'm not going to give myself a specific time goal just because I feel that that might be putting a little bit too much pressure on myself and that actually could backfire on me. Like if I say, oh, I want to write an hour a day every day, then I might have days where I only could write for 30 minutes and then I feel guilty for not meeting a minimum time commitment. So I'm going to try and write every single day, no matter how much time that is, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, a few hours. I am just going to commit to continue writing daily and to just put my hands to the keyboard or pen to paper and get something down and get some productivity going on my story on a day-to-day basis. I'm also making the resolution to continue to work on my story and to not take any more breaks. Definitely not any more prolonged breaks like I did this past month. That goes hand in hand with working on my story daily. I am committing basically the first 3 months of this year to finishing the story, and then the following 3 months to really editing and polishing it, and then I'll probably spend the next 3 months after that editing and polishing it even more. After those three separate 3-month chunks, that brings me to 9 months. So then I will spend the last 3 months of the year kind of starting the querying process. So I'm basically going to take all of 2015 to work on my story, finish it, edit it, polish it, and by the end of this year I would like to start querying. And I basically just lengthen this process because I want to take my time. I want to really commit and do this with excellence and put in a good amount of effort and try to produce something truly quality, something that I can be proud of and that I can feel confident when I'm querying and I'm trying to find a literary agent. So that's my goal for 2015, is to come out with a finished, completed, polished novel that I like, that I'm proud of, and that I feel confident putting out into the world. And then of course starting that process at the end of this year, hopefully, with querying agents, and then going into 2016 I'll see how that ends up and whether I need to maybe change my plans to a more self-publishing route. But before I start thinking about the self-publishing route, I definitely want to focus on just producing a high quality story first. So yeah, that's basically it for this year. Basically just want to write every day, make it into a habit like I did in doing NaNoWriMo. I don't want to stop writing. I don't want to take any prolonged breaks from writing. I want to commit to this story, finish it, edit it, polish it, and get ready to start the process of trying to get out there as a writer and trying to get representation for my novel. So that's it. That is basically what I plan on doing writing-wise and what I plan on doing with my NaNoWriMo novel. And you know, this being January 1st, I am happy to say that I have written today. So one day down, 364 more days of writing to go. I'm really excited, and I think it's crazy how I still am so passionate about this story, despite the ups and the downs and all the craziness that I've been through with it, with the plot and the characters, and just, oh my gosh, I've been through so much with this story, and I think it's awesome that I'm still so in love with it, that I still am interested in it, and I'm still excited to want to work on it. Actually, I think that's kind of miraculous, but that tells me that I have something really good here, and I'm going to stick with it this year. And of course, I will be making more videos, keeping you guys updated on how it's going. I plan on making some more specific writing videos, videos about plot and character, and giving some advice, and from my personal experience, especially writing this novel. So that's it for my NaNoWriMo novel update, and I hope that this was helpful in some way. Leave some comments down below if you have your own writing resolutions for 2015, and if you participated in NaNoWriMo, what you plan on doing with your novel. Are you continuing forward with editing, or what's going on there? And I guess I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye. The older I get, the more I start to see that I think that we read what we need to at the time. And I've sort of come to this realization because after making my favorite books of 2014 video, I started to really think, and just thinking about all the books that I read that year really kind of opened up my mind to reflection and thinking more about what I read in 2014 and why I read what I read. And if you've seen my part 1 or part 2 of my favorite books of 2014 video, then you know that I read primarily new adult books in 2014. I also read primarily self-published books and primarily romance books in 2014. And my initial reason for going into that direction at the beginning of the year is that I was exploring writing new adult, and I wanted to get more of a firm grasp on the genre and a firm grasp on what was being published